Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your bewildered pharaoh of physical media, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett, and I'm here with your favorite show, our favorite show, everybody's favorite show. Let's get physical media. Josh over on the Discord will probably tell you what number of show this is, because I think it's 140, 154, something like that. Who knows? Doesn't matter. It's always kind of the same every week on this show. It's just enough that we're here. But let's face it, you didn't come to see me, did you? You came to see your favorite German, my favorite German, the world's favorite German, even though the town he lives in's football team did not go as far as they wanted them to go. But it doesn't matter. All the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, we've got Mr. Dieter Bastian in the house.
And I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here, I'm Rocky like a hurricane, and welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media. And Rob, I'm hearing you have work to do today, your first recording session.
That is true, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, just so everybody knows, the audio drama that I've been talking about for months, True Noir, the assassination of Anton Cermak from the Nathan Heller casebooks, based on Road to Perdition writer Max Allan Collins' 19-novel series. We are recording our first, not Todd Stashwick, our first, call it, marquee player. An actor I'm very, very excited about. Can't announce who that actor is. I'm driving 90 minutes west to Los Angeles, going to our audio recording facility, and I will be recording him from the other side of the planet.
Ooh, nice.
Yes. And Todd Stashwick is at a convention now, so he won't be able to act opposite our actor, but we have another actor. That's what we do. And obviously, we record the bulk of the series beginning June 10th, and we will hopefully, we have remote. We have actors coming in from New York, actors coming in from Florida. They're not actually coming to LA, but we will be using modern technology to record them with other actors together. And with all the bit players, it looks like we're having close to 100 different speaking roles in this show. And
that's some number.
It's pretty big. And this, I have to say, Max Allan Collins scripts, every single one I get, there's only one outstanding script, the actual end of the story. It is a wonderful tale. It's full of surprises and intrigue. And the I have to tell you, this is a full SAG production, and there's many different actors that you will know and recognize that are in this show. And what's become interesting is when you start going out into the Hollywood ecosystem and you're dealing with managers and agents, and this is, if we were making a streaming series, I would have the same cast. If it were a TV show or a movie, I would have the same cast. I'd keep the same cast. It's now gotten to the production where actors, known people, I'm not going to say who this is, but a current showrunner of a pretty big streaming show who has been an actor as well for a long, long, long time, called us and asked if we had a part for them in the production. And I can't say who. I'm not trying to be cheeky. It's going to be part of how we're going to promote the show, and we have a publicist and all that. But it's really, really exciting, and I can't begin to tell you how exciting this whole project is. Of course, people who are watching this going, what? Well, we're doing the fully immersive audio drama True Noir, based on Road to Perdition writer Max Allan Collins' first book in his 19-novel Nathan Heller series, and it's going to be very exciting. And today we officially begin recording actors, so nice. That is amazing.
And Rob, through the grapevine, I hear you have not so good news for me, considering Furiosa's box office.
Yeah. Well, this is not great, and we're going to go to our friend Nancy Tartaglione from Deadline.
Yeah.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Had made only 59 million globally. So it's Warner Brothers' Furiosa, Mad Max Saga was greeted with a very warm reception during its Cannes Film Festival world premiere in an early showcase last week, and amid much love for the franchise architect George Miller. It is followed up with strong critical and social scores. Nevertheless, this currently wonky theatrical landscape, the prequel underperformed in its global opening this launch weekend, grossing $58.9 million from 76 local markets through Sunday. That includes only $33.3 million from overseas play and $25.6 million from domestic, the latter for its Friday through Sunday. We're waiting on confirmation for the 4-day North American number given the domestic holiday on Monday here in the States. We expected higher when we did our preview earlier this week, and perhaps the industry as a whole was praying too much at the feet of this origin story. It's undeniably got some amazing action. It's important to recall that while we think of 2015's Rock and Roll Fury Road as a franchise renaissance, deservedly, that movie ended its run at $380 million worldwide. So, obviously, this is a holiday weekend here.
Yeah.
But that is very disappointing. And Anthony D'Alessandro has domestic box office here. The 4-day fight between Warner Brothers' Furiosa and Alcon Sony's The Garfield movie will drag out into Monday. Both current titles currently in a dead heat, eyeing $31 million over 4 days, $25 million over 3 days, which is not good. There are those showing the 48-old comic strip feline eating the one-armed desert renegade's lunch with $31 million to $30.96 million, but it's too close to call right now. Whether Garfield or Furiosa wins, it will be the lowest opening for Memorial Day weekend #1 title in 29 years, the last being 1995's Casper the Friendly Ghost, at $22 million. After beating Furiosa on Saturday, Garfield looks to have the edge over her on Sunday and Monday. Some blame Warner's for starting the last leg of their campaign too late in May, realized that they did kick off Furiosa in late Q4 at Brazilian Comic-Con with Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth in tow. That's a pretty big platform to blast word of mouth from, and it's the same place Warner reignited the campaign for Legendary's Dune Part 2. Others believe that the slowdown here stems from Taylor-Joy taking over the role from Charlize Theron. However, any way you cut it, the reality is that Furiosa and Mad Max appeal to a finite fanboy, largely male audience. It's R-rated, not 5-quadrant, which is why there wasn't a lot of heat coming off the first trailer drop in November. So, unfortunately, here we go in terms of box office. If is still third with $15.6 million, a drop of 54%, which is respectable. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes from 20th Century Disney. It had a $5 million Saturday and up 48% over Friday. Third weekend for the film is at $12.8 million, which is down only 50%. The 4-day is $16.5 million, and its running domestic total is $125.9 million. The pick became the first title of the summer to cross $100 million last weekend, so there is some pulse in the marketplace. The Fall Guy, another inexplicable failure at the box office, is up to $73.8 million, and now it's available on streaming.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. Angel Studios' faith-based title Sight, crashing, with a 4-day of $3.6 million. So, anyway, I also want to point out that there was something really bad happened that was very distressing. Okay. Four girls were stabbed at an AMC theater in Massachusetts. The suspect was arrested, but a guy went into a movie theater dressed to kill style with a blonde wig on and stabbed 4 girls between the ages of 9 to 17. They had non-life-threatening injuries, but that's pretty abhorrent.
Yeah, definitely.
We live in a crazy world, man. A crazy world. So did you see Furiosa?
Yes, I have, Rob. And I don't know what you thought of the movie. For me, I watched Dan Merrill's review this morning, and for me, it was actually pretty fitting what he said. Still good, but yet a bit disappointing. For me too, Rob. I went into the movie, and, the beginning always sets a tone for a movie. And at first I was, is that a studio set that we are here on? And then we have a green screen moment, a night for day shoot, probably the volume a little bit later. So in the first 10 minutes, I get almost everything that makes for mediocre visual effects. So for me, considering the practicality, and then you came into play later, Rob, with your verisimilitude, because I was thinking, how is this chariot working that Chris Hemsworth uses? How can that be working? So I don't know about that, Rob. So the verisimilitude was a little bit sketchy for me on that part. And considering Chris Hemsworth, he gets a lot of praise, but for me, Rob, I got a little bit of that still leftover Thor Love and Thunder goofiness coming with it. So for me, in the end, still good, great action, but a little bit disappointed too, considering the practicality that the series got over the years. Even, yes, Fury Road has visual effects too, but the best visual effects are visual effects that you don't see. And speaking of Hope and Glory, they put out a nice visual effects reel, how they did the visual effects. And for me, there were some great shots where I didn't even know, hey, wait, there was visual effects in that shot. And the best are, unfortunately, invisible, which was not the case considering Furiosa. So like Dan Merrill, still good, but a little bit disappointing too for me.
I agree. I mean, somebody had said early on that it reminded them of the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I forgot that, Rob. Exactly.
And I didn't know what that meant. And when I saw the movie, I got it. I mean, the thing about Fury Road is most of they were shooting everything practically, and then they added environmental stuff. This felt like a lot of it was shot against sets. I mean, blue screens, and it looked it. It wasn't. Yes. I mean, they were in Namibia when they shot Fury Road, and I believe they shot this in Australia. So they had a lot more access to studio facilities, and I know it probably, but it really. The thing about the Mad Max movies is they've always been practical, and when you see any kind of green screen or any kind of backgrounds that are generated or anything that isn't entirely practical, it really sticks out. Because even the things when they went into the big sandstorm in Fury Road, it was still practical cars on the fucking ground going in, and you could see that. And for me, it was perplexing, to be honest. I'm like, what was that? Why was that done that way?
Yeah.
And
on another note, Rob, if you do a movie without of main character Max, that's totally fine, but don't put in a character that is probably the replacement for him.
Yeah, Max, the proxy Max.
Yeah, exactly.
Snake
the Prestorian Jake, Rob, and they even had that famous shot, Rob. When he comes down, the highway.
I know.
It was almost exactly the same shot. So if Max is not in the movie, that's not a problem. But don't put someone that is a little bit like the replacement for him in it.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I mean, but still, I did like it. I mean, I did enjoy watching it. I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. And there's going to be. I have to say, there's going to be all kinds of think pieces and all kinds of YouTube videos about what's wrong with Hollywood. Why aren't people going to the movies? And I honestly think, for as much as I love seeing George Miller make movies, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, it's doing all right. They made it for $30 million less than War of the Planet of the Apes, and it's a fine movie. And I have really high hopes for things like Alien Romulus.
Yeah,
but I think that the time for movies and the time for studios and we're seeing, look, If was an original film. Fall Guy wasn't not original. It was based on an IP that nobody remembers. I mean, I've always believed that you have to give people an intellectual reason. And when I mean intellectual, I don't mean to make it smart, but there's got to be something in your mind, something about the plot, something about the whatever it is you're going to see that draws you to it, something about what it's about. Like when you watch something, an intriguing story, you hear the basic idea and you're like, ooh, for whatever reason, you key on that and you're like, I want to know what happens. And I think that, and you have to deliver on that promise. And it's funny, I feel this way about books. Like when I hear about a book, what gets me, and it's always been this way, like I used to read the back of books when I was a kid, especially horror and science fiction novels, and there was something on the back, something about the very idea of what the book was about that made me want to go, oh, I want to know what happens in that story. And I brought this up last night, but
yeah,
this book that I just got, Fever House, I know, right? It's so metal. But both Joe Hill and Stephen King tweeted out about this book. Now you could say that was probably a cynical, they did that to drum up interest. But Stephen King, I read The Hunger Games because of his review in Entertainment Weekly. This book's a banger. This book is fucking bonkers, and that's how I've always found the books I like to read. I read a lot of genre fiction. But it's really great, and I think that as much as I love George Miller and all that stuff, is you've got to give us a reason beyond that. Oh, it's another entry into a saga. We really have to go back to making original films. We need all the new IPs. We need movies like the John Wick franchise, and I really think that I understand that the business model is let's spend $150 million and we'll make $1 billion. No, spend $75 million and make $300 million, and make movies, make studio filmmaking profitable. And if you consistently do that, you're going to spend a lot less money. But I guess the Wall Street corporate overlords won't. The Black Rocks and the Vanguards want you to make more money, but they're killing the industry. And it's a bummer.
Yeah. And for me, Rob, it was a little bit like they wanted to try the movie be bigger than Fury Road. And with that, they went a little bit too digital. And the movie is about Furiosa, but she was, for most of the movie, or at least half the movie, more like a bystander in her own movie. So for me, still a 7 out of 10, but then Meryl was, for me, right on the money. Still good, but a little bit disappointing with the end result of the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
and Rob, since you brought it up again, I wasn't planning on buying the Fall Guy digital, but I did, Rob,
because it's an extended version.
Yeah, exactly. And Rob, you need to get on that movie. There is a good or even better movie in all the footage that we got, but you need to edit it down to 2 hours, bring all the good stuff, because there's stuff in the extended cut that I like. There is less voiceover in the beginning, There's a switch, AC/DC's Thunderstruck got changed to another song. So just from the top of my head. And I always remember the scene with the scooter from the trailer, and I thought, after I've seen the movie, where was the scene with the scooter? That is now in the extended cut, that scene. So the problem is there is nice stuff in the extended cut, but the movie is getting, of course, even longer than it already was. So Rob, we need you to edit, get it. There is a better movie in this stuff. So I liked actually the changes that were made in the extended cut, especially less voiceover in the beginning. Just the beginning, but there was always a narration from Ryan Gosling going on. This is missing in the extended cut, Rob.
Yeah.
Just in the beginning and the ending. And I'm fearful, Rob, that the extended cut won't make it to physical media. Because there was an extended cut, I think it was The Fate of the Furious, which were only available digitally.
Yeah.
Even if they put out the extended cuts of Fast and Furious 5 and 6 on the disc. So I'm hopeful, but I think, considering it's Universal again, the extended cut will be only available digital. So I bought the Fall Guy, and I think it is, considering my rating, I would give it the same, because there's better stuff in it, but the movie gets even longer. So Rob, you need to get on that Fall Guy and give us that ultimate version, ultimate cut.
I got to tell you, so far, the Nathan Heller, our assassination of Anton Cermak, the script is 350 pages long. So I have to tell you, I don't have time to edit anything other than White Devils. White Devils is out the door. Hopefully we got some sales at Cannes, and the Nathan Heller case books. It's, even though it's only an audio drama, in terms of the work involved, it's enormous. It's a gigantic undertaking. I'm looking at this going, I'm kind of like, well, I didn't do something easy. And thank God we have Max Allan Collins who wrote it, because the script is absolutely incredible. But man, is it going to take a lot of work. A lot of work. And I'm going to need help. I didn't realize how many people are in it. And
so you underestimated it a little bit.
I don't think I underestimated it in the sense that my own ambition for things, I should just trust in my ambition. And it's always like, I always believe in going for things that are beyond your grasp. And it makes you reach out. Because I just, I'm not very compromising. I like to work. And the great thing is I'm working with, I can call the shots on this, so I'm working with great people, and I'm able to get the people I want to work with and be like, okay, I got you, and trust them. That's what a producer does. A producer gets a team of people that they like and trust, encourage them, give them what they need to go out and go forth, and then I'm also directing. So I've got myself as part of my team. I hired myself as the director of this project. But yeah, so it begins and ends with Max Allan Collins' work and his imagination and his writing, and it's easy from there. It's his work has attracted all these people. So nice. That's a long way to be self-aggrandizing, and at the same time tell you why I can't re-edit The Fall Guy. Somebody will make a fan cut of it. Somebody will do it.
I hope so.
I want to start out and give a shout out. Show a piece of physical media. So, I paid for an A24. I became a card-carrying A24 member. I think I pay $5 a month or something. But then, because I joined like a couple months ago, and they sent me a link. You put your birthday in, and they sent me a link that like, we're giving you a birthday present, and you could pick, because they have cool. I mean, we showed their Stop Making Sense and Pie discs. I mean, their books are great. I love what A24. I don't know about their business practices. I'm hearing some dubious things about their movie making practices and TV making practices. Can't speak to that. But being an A24 member, so I ask for their movie Lamb. I told you, with Noomi Rapace. So I got it. I got it in the mail, and it came with this, which I thought was pretty dope. First of all, nice. It came with a little card that says, "Enjoy your special day," from A24. And then this is this is pretty classy, dude. And all this is your receipt. And it's just your packing slip, but it comes in this cool, A24 envelope. I'm like, and here's the
media bill.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, how cool is that? And then look at this, bro. Look at this disc. First of all, look at this cover.
Nice.
It's really nice. And then it's a slipcase disc. If I can get it out.
Yeah.
And I mean, A24, you open it up, Lamb, and then inside, or actually, I don't know if I can get what's inside here out. It's kind of stuck. It's packed. There we go.
Booklet?
A great book. This is true on. It's got storyboards in here. Again, artwork, how to read stuff. I mean, this is A-list physical media, and I got to give it up to them. This is as good a package as any of our favorite boutique. I guess A24 is in fact a boutique label, but very impressed with this. Just like their package for Pie and their Stop Making Sense package. I mean, they care about their own output. So this is amazing. I mean, Black Phillip from The Witch is not in this movie. He could be. Maybe there's somebody like Blackpool. But very happy to get this. Thank you, A24.
Nice.
I would encourage everybody, if you like this film or you're an A24 acolyte.
That's the other question, Rob. Have you seen it?
No.
No. Okay.
No. I have not. And I can't wait to see it. But, hey, I have it.
Let me know.
Great package. You go, A24.
Nice one.
So become an A24 member. And what is it? It's 5 times 12. I mean, is it worth, how much money? But I guess. And you get their monthly magazine, so it's cool.
Yeah. And speaking of Cannes Film Festival, Rob, I didn't know Caroline Farché has a new movie. Playing in Cannes.
Did you read what it's about?
I don't want to read anything about it, Rob. I want to go in blind.
Okay.
But if you want, can give me just a quick knowledge.
Well, so it stars Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley, and it's called. By the way, of all the movies, The Substance. Yeah. Do you want me to tell you more?
A little bit, Rob.
A little bit more. So, okay. So The Substance is a substance you take, and Demi Moore is she's a fitness instructor, and she's aging, and they basically tell her that she's too old. She's getting old, so who wants to watch her anymore?
Yeah.
So she takes this substance from this company, and what it does is it transforms you into two people. So you grow a younger. So Demi Moore plays her older self, and Margaret Qualley plays her younger self. And so the bodies transform. So there's two people now.
Yeah.
And for a week, the younger self goes off and leads your life. And then the younger self comes back, and then you can go back out and lead your own life. And then, but her younger self wants to take over the older's body and life. So, and apparently it has insane body horror effects in it. And all kinds of shit. I'm reading this going, fuck yeah, man, this is right up my alley. Bring that shit on, son.
Rob, how did you get from Revenge to this?
I gotta say, these French directors making these ladies in France are they're floating my boat, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Revenge is great. And who put that disc out?
This is the Second Sight one. The Second Sight.
That's right. Second Sight. It's a great disc. You go, one of our favorite home video labels. I think you got me that.
I don't know anymore. Could be wrong.
It's a great movie, though.
Since you were speaking, Rob, of Margaret, help me with her name, Margaret Qualley? Is her name?
Qualley, yeah. She's in...
Qualley. Even if I wasn't a big fan of the movie, but the movie got a really nice edition, and Rob, as a collector, I thought, okay, I bought it. I bought Drive-Away Dolls.
Oh, nice.
And this is actually really nice, Rob. We got the disc, which came, luckily, with reversible cover artwork, so no German rating on it. And then a really nice booklet with it. We've got the map.
Wow.
On the back. So, really nice pictures in it. And some different poster artworks for the movie. Just see if I can get a slip here off. So
that's really cool. Who put that out?
Universal, Rob. Universal.
Nice.
So even if I'm not a fan of it, I thought, man, this edition is nice. It's really nice. So I bought Drive-Away Dolls.
There you go. Now, the question that I posed for our episode, by the way, is guess what finally showed up at my house?
Perhaps at my house too? I don't know what you will...
No, you already have this.
Okay. Oh! You got the Abyss, Rob? Finally.
I did.
Finally.
I finally did. But you know what? Not in Dolby Vision. What are you going to do? It does have high dynamic range.
Have you give it a look-see?
I haven't. I just got it. It just showed up. I don't know. I have to tell you, if this is any indication of what's going on, I was talking to Bill Hunt about this week. We were just chatting, and the idea that these big titles, that there's not enough. There's a lot of these things they're just running out of them. For instance, I do have in transit the Crow Steelbook and the Departed, nice. But I had to go to other places to get them. I got your version of the Steelbook because I love the Crow, but when these things run out, I've never experienced this, especially at Amazon. And with the French Connection, I went to Orbit. I went to Orbit and I'm like, I'm tired of not. I'll pay a premium to get the discs I want. Send it to me. I don't want to not get them. And it's frustrating.
And since you were showing the Abyss, Rob, which had much controversy, we didn't actually talk about this over the last 2 weeks, about the controversy considering Once Upon a Time in the West, or
is that the European box set with all the extra swag in it?
Yeah, but it's actually not that much, Rob.
Oh,
considering the drive-by doll set, so we've got just the Emery case. So I haven't watched it, so I can't tell you anything about the transfer itself. But it was a big discussion again, considering how it looked.
Well, yeah, because you do a 4K transfer. So for those of you who are wondering about this, here's a movie, one of the great classic westerns of one of the most beloved westerns of all time, Man with a Harmonica. Sergio Leone, an amazing bit of work, and they do a 4K restoration of it, and then they compress it. And they put it on a BD 66 instead of a BD 100, and it defeats the purpose of the 4K format, and why you would have something in 4K, because Blu-ray is about 6 times better than DVD, and 4K is about 4 times better than Blu-ray. In terms of that's a tremendous oversimplification, but that's kind of how you can think of it.
On the math side.
Yeah, and if you're not taking advantage of your own format, why are you bothering? And I mean, this is something people wait for, and it was compromised. And Paramount's been okay. I mean, it's been back and forth sometimes. People didn't like their Planes, Trains, and Automobiles disc, but they like their 4K of Beverly Hills Cop was way better than the Blu-ray. So. Yeah, look at that. I mean, and this is a great movie, and I don't care how much swag it comes with. Give it to me in the highest resolution possible. I mean, what are you trying to do? Save a few nickels and dimes? I mean, this is the problem that Hollywood is skimping where they shouldn't be, and they're spending too much money when they shouldn't. They shouldn't be either. And I mean, by the way, I tried to get that version. It's sold out. Again, Amazon.
Okay.
No. From Amazon UK. So I'll go to a third-party retailer. But it's frustrating that they do that. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, dude. But like I said, I haven't watched it, so I can't say anything about how the movie looks. So Once Upon a Time
I mean, a lot of people are loving it.
West.
But it's been interesting, like with the big the Cameron titles and the way they look. I mean, I understand that you go back to the original camera negative and you do a full scan. To me, that's obviously what you want to do. You don't want to use AI to up-res or assist an older scan, especially a scan that was done 10 years ago. The scan might have been state of the art, and it might be a great transfer. It might be a great scan. But transfer technology has improved since then, and now I know we're going into our brave AI world, but I will always be an advocate of going back to the original scans of something, or the original negative, and rescanning it at 4K, because AI is it's artificial, where you should go get the information that's already in the negative. That's the purest form of the image.
Because in contrast to that, Rob, I finally got around to watching Existence, from Vinegar Syndrome. Totally had a blast with the picture quality on it. And for me, it's probably one of my favorite David Cronenberg movies. Just the subject matter with video games, that's of course right up my alley. So I totally loved it because this was always a problematic movie. Never quite looked good on any previous format. So finally we got Existence, which came out of the blue, Rob. Nobody knew about
they
it.
dropped that out of the, and now you can't get it.
So really nice one, Vinegar Syndrome with Existence.
Yeah. So
should I show more?
Yeah, why not? Show more.
Okay. Of course, I don't know if you've gotten yours, Rob, and I went all out, Rob, because I wasn't sure which steelbook to get, and I thought, you know what? I get all three of them, and then I decide. And
You're
of course,
a
I'm speaking of Dune, and my favorite one is in the back. The only problem, it's dented. It has to go back. So this is actually my favorite motive, considering Dune Part 2, because this one fits nicely with the other one, considering the design. But unfortunately, there are some dents in it, so this will unfortunately have to go back. There you have it. There you have it. Nice. Shiny, Rob. Isn't it shiny?
It's shiny, and I went for this one. Great stuff. And have you looked at this again? Have you looked at this?
Yesterday, yes. And luckily, I would say the sound is a 10 out of 10 here too, even if it's not that IMAX sound, but I really got the sound,
dude.
of course.
The sound design, this is the third. Dune 1, Dune 2, and Blade Runner 2049 might have the greatest sound design in any movie ever. Maybe.
And here are the other two. So I will keep this one, Rob, which came luckily not dented. So this one, which I quite enjoy too, because we have the two main leads on it. And
where did that come from?
From Italy, Rob. They all came from Italy. And inside we have the scene with the big finale with the sandworms in it. So I will keep that, but I will try to get the other one too. And this one is still unopened. This will go back too, because I wasn't sure how it will look. Sometimes you see steelbooks on the website, and then you get it and think, "Oh, that looks way better than I was thought it was going to look." With your King Kong steelbook.
Yeah.
And this was actually the third one, which often you will see as the Blu-ray version of the movie. But this is the least one. So this and the dented one, unfortunately, have to go back. But this is actually the one I like the most, the one that you got too.
Yeah. That's
because it fits
I wanted.
with the design of the other two. And did we hear anything about getting the IMAX aspect ratio at one point?
I think maybe, like, I was talking to Bill about this too, and he was saying that maybe after they do all three, maybe they'll do that. But you know what? I again, Warner Brothers pioneered IMAX ratios they started with The Dark Knight. That was the first disc I think that came out that had IMAX changing aspect ratios. And maybe Denis Villeneuve didn't want to do that. I mean, I don't know, but it seems odd. It's too bad, because I like the changing aspect ratio. It's really interesting to me. And
the only thing, the movies are consistent. If you watch 1 and 2, they are consistent. In the widescreen format.
I mean, they still look great.
Yeah. And it is the version that actually most people have seen the movie, Even if IMAX is a big part, it's still the one that probably most people got to see it in the theaters. That kind of version. Okay, Rob. On another front, I finally thought, okay, I give it a shot. I tried out Tubi, Rob. And the question is, of course, to be or not to be, And for me, considering the breaks with the commercials, unfortunately, I have to say that's a no-go for me. I've watched this afternoon. The movie was great, actually. I watched the movie. I don't know if you have heard about this. Lowlives. Nice horror movie. But I got 5, actually 6 commercial breaks in it. I don't count the one at the beginning, but it is only a 90-minute movie. 5 commercial breaks in it. That's a no-go for me, unfortunately. Considering, yes, it's free. That's nice. But commercial breaks, 5 for a 90-minute movie. And I can only hope that the movie will find its way to Blu-ray, perhaps, here in Germany later down the road. And I won't give anything away, Rob. You should go in blind. It flips the script a little bit, considering a family is on a vacation in their RV, and far from the civilization, and they meet some shady people, Rob. Some shady people on the road. I won't tell you anything.
We love the shady people.
Yeah, we love the shady people, Rob.
Bring the shady people on. Whenever the shady people show up, we have more fun.
They're up to no good. I hope that the movie will find its way down the line on physical media somewhere, because the movie had a great time with it, but 5 commercial breaks, I can't take that anymore. I can't take it.
Dude, I'm right there with you.
I can take it. So let me just see. I not only watched Lowlives, Rob. This week I'm totally looking for Thursday, Rob, because I watched. I forgot her name, Nina Mansour's. I was a great fan of her Polite Society movie, and I finally watched on Peacock, Rob. We Are Lady Parts, exactly my jam, Rob. Where a Muslim girl becomes a lead guitarist in a punk band, and she has to juggle, the 2 lifestyles.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for this. It looks great.
Yeah, it's just the first season are just 6 episodes, about 25 minutes each, so a great binge, had great laughs in it, and I'm looking forward to season 2, which comes out on Thursday on Peacock. And if you haven't seen Polite Society, it's kind of the same vein. I had great laughs with it. So totally nice, and I'm looking forward to Thursday to watch the 2nd season. This was what I watched on streaming.
Nice. I haven't watched much of anything. I've just been working on our projects. So
no comment on your movie. Grandpa. Something's wrong with Grandpa. No comment on
the elderly. No, but once I get past this first recording and I'll get back on that. It's just it's great. It's great. Look, it's great to be working on such a big monster undertaking that's going to be done very quickly. It's not like I have to wait 6 months. It'll be complete very fast.
Do you know actually how long the session will take, or is there
today's recording session? I'll bet it won't take more than 45 minutes, to be honest.
Okay.
Because the scenes go almost as fast, unlike a movie, where if you have 2 people sitting down at a table having a conversation, you might have to do 20 setups to film that conversation. What we're doing now is you get 2 actors, they read the scene, and it goes by in real time. So when they read the scenes, it's and then I, as the director, I make adjustments, and it's going to be interesting because the character that we're recording today, it can be played multiple ways. So it'll be interesting to see what the act, because what I like to do, here's my philosophy of directing audio dramas with my extensive experience. I take the tactic that Quentin Tarantino does when he auditions people. You let the actor do it themselves first. You want to see what an actor is going to bring to the role. Yeah. And you let the actor do that, and then you make adjustments. So, and then you also try and get it multiple different ways. because you get different performances, different takes. You can mix and match. You want to get as much as you can. And the great thing about this, believe it or not, this scene, this character only appears in episode 4. It is a big scene. It is a 13-page scene that has a flashback in the middle of it. So it's a big scene, and it's a pivotal scene. So, and this actor that I love a lot, I've been watching this actor for decades. You want that actor to bring what they bring. I mean, this is an actor that is, I'm sure I don't have to tell him what to, it's a man.
Okay,
I don't have to tell him what to do. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
But yeah, it'll probably be done. I wouldn't be surprised if we're done in an hour.
Nice. Should we go through some super chats, Rob?
We can. Let's see if anyone has. Let's see what people are saying. Let's start. First of all, you know what? I wanted to give a shout out to the official cheesemonger of this channel, Kaz Graphics. Kaz Graphics got laid off from work, and he's been at a company he was at for a long time, and he was in the hospital. He was suffering from seizures. So I wanted to put up a link. I'll put up a link about where if anybody wanted to assist him at all financially, give him a few bucks. We can do that because he's a great guy, and I feel like all these people I know are coming up against really extreme health issues, and it's distressing. Yeah, it is frightening. I guess what a drag it is getting old, as they say. Our friend B Depp. Yeah. B-Dep says, great to hear that your recordings start today. Can't wait to support the Kickstarter. I picked up MVD's Hardware Wars. I keep forgetting about that. I got to get that.
Oh, yeah.
That Hardware Wars videotape. And he picked up Icons Unearthed, the Star Wars Unearthed, with a full unedited hour interview with Marshall Lucas that I desperately want to see, so I got to get that. But I remember I had the VHS tape of Hardware Wars that also had Closet Encounters of the Nerd Kind, Bambi versus Godzilla, and Ernie Fossilius's Pork Lips Now. And I gotta get that disc. Let's see. Robert Giachinita says, my main problem with Furiosa is that we know which characters survive and which ones die, and what happens to the green place. Not enough stakes.
Well, it's right on that one.
Yeah, I mean. A fair assessment.
That comes with the prequel territory.
Yeah, it really does. Thomas Logan says Lamb is fantastic. The adoption industry is vile. Well, I was adopted, but I wasn't an industrial adoption. It was done through doctors. Yeah, so I can't say that. The adoption industry is totally vile. Mad Chad became an imagination connoisseur. Aurora Uplinks became a PGS hero, and Masolo 79 became. He's also Masolo. They are. I don't know who. That's a cool name. Am I saying that right? Masolo 79 is an imagination connoisseur. Thomas Logan says George Miller's ego did this. Furiosa had to come out in 2019, not 9 years after Fury Road. He should have focused on Furiosa instead of that bullshit genie crap. I like that. I like that movie. Come on.
Years of longing.
And we were longing for years for Furiosa. So maybe he was trying to tell us something.
Thomas said in the live chat, Rob, there was a first super chat from him that you missed.
From Thomas Logan?
Earlier one. Yeah, from Thomas.
Well,
earlier one.
I just said that one. Lamb is fantastic. I haven't got to his Dune one yet. He has a Dune super chat as well. I'm just going back and reading. I jump around sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 2 places where I get super chats from, and they come in on different levels. Satan West. I like that. Is there a Satan East, a Satan North, and a Satan South too? Satan West says lots of people. Oh, this is a really good question. Lots of people were enthusiastic about the Indian movie or the Tollywood movie, RRR. How come there isn't a physical media release of this popular movie, and how come I don't hear more people requesting that movie on 4K? That's a really great question.
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, the problem I think with a movie like RRR is like you loved it, right?
I wasn't that big a fan of it.
Okay. For me, I appreciate here's my thing with RRR. It's a lot of fun when you're watching it, but for me, Mr. Verisimilitude, it has none. And it's funny because I feel like when I first started watching John Woo movies, like when I watched The Killer and Hard Boiled and A Better Tomorrow and Bullet in the Head, those movies had somehow I was able, with all the gunplay and all, I bought into those movies because they really did blow shit up, But when you're looking at RRR, there's so much CG and there's so much wackiness that it's almost like you kind of have to bring the same sensibility you'd bring to watching a Sharknado. I mean,
almost.
And
for me, one of one of the problems was I watched on Netflix, Rob, and that was not the original dubbing for the movie.
Right.
I was always taken out because I noticed something is off here. Something doesn't quite fit. So I would totally buy it. But nice that the guy who fired in the super chat brought it up, because I almost forgotten about the movie, because I was thinking the same. When is RR coming out? Especially in Germany, the Bollywood movies get released normally here, but RR, unfortunately, I don't know why. I have no idea why.
Maybe it's because it was from Tollywood instead of Bollywood. I don't know. I just think that not a lot of people, unfortunately, Indian cinema doesn't have the penetration into the Western market, and I think very few people even know about RRR. And if they want to watch it on Netflix, they can. By the way, there was a great sort of slice of life Indian film about the lives of these women that looks incredible, that played at Cannes. So that looks great. But yeah, I would like to see more Indian films. But yeah, and I don't even know in India if they released. I have nothing about the domestic Indian.
That's what I thought, Rob. We, as the importers that we are, it's gotten no release nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere
on physical media.
And that could very well be because the distributor doesn't make that. I mean, I have no idea. That's a good question. I want to look into that. So good question, Satan West. Thanks for that one.
Satan West. Yeah.
Thomas Logan says the Dune 4Ks are epic fails without the 1570 143 cuts. Epic fail, Warner Brothers. These films were shot for 1570. The 4Ks are thus incorrect cropped versions. Here's the thing about that. It's kind of like how James Cameron has never shot an anamorphic film. And when you're making a movie, there are you have protection lines, and they know when they're shooting the film that they're going to have multiple variations. So it's not like, it was certainly, Thomas is right that it was shot for, but they were also aware of the fact that they were specifically shooting for multiple formats because they knew that Dune is not just going to be in IMAX theaters. Just like when Cameron's shooting spherical lenses when he's making The Abyss or Terminator 2 or whatever, they come out in 239 to 1 they come out with the widescreen even though they're not anamorphic lenses because they protected for that. So I don't necessarily think that that's, I can understand where you're coming from, and I would rather have those aspect ratios, but I don't know if the entire film was shot like that.
Considering the 4:3 aspect ratio, I think it was only 40 minutes. The other thing, there was the version 1.9 to 1 where it was completely, where you have the not real IMAX theaters, where it will be shown, I think, at 190 to 1, the whole film, the whole movie,
Yeah, so
like you said, as a director, you always have to keep in mind, okay, I'm doing this in different formats, and I have to be looking at those 245 to 1 also. because this is the version that most people will see it in still.
Yeah, and I think you have to take that. Like, for instance, look, if you're talking about 2001 or Lawrence of Arabia, there's one aspect ratio that needs to be preserved. But in this day and age, especially working with IMAX cameras and whatever, they are shooting for multiple aspect ratios from the get. So,
yeah. And the other thing is, Rob, considering if you look at Batman vs Superman, the Ultimate Edition with the IMAX scene, but the IMAX scene is just a 20-minute piece consecutive, not here's 2 minutes, here's 4 minutes.
Right.
So you have 20 minutes as a bulk, I don't know if Dune, if you have just the aspect ratio switching, black bars, no black bars, but switching to 4:3 and you do it multiple times, that can be jarring.
Right. Yeah.
Considering at home, So Batman v Superman was great, but it was just that one bulk of a sequence of 20 or 25 minutes to fight Batman v Superman. It was not just 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there. Like I said, Rob, with Oppenheimer, you get that one aspect change for just 2 seconds, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, which is weird when you're watching it.
Yeah,
that transition has to be smooth as well.
Exactly.
Marco has been a member of the channel for 23 months, and 5 Toast gifted 5 Burnettwork memberships. We will be back on the membership calls next week. I'm probably going to do 2 or 3 consecutive weeks of member calls, so that'll be fun. B-Dep says he misspoke that the Marsha Lucas interview is 3 hours long.
Ooh.
That's exciting. So we are caught up.
Which movie has the best aspect change? Catching Fire, of course, Rob.
Oh.
It's Catching Fire. Always will be the best aspect change ratio.
Far be it for me to argue with you about that.
Unfortunately, only with the Blu-ray. Came only with the Blu-ray, not later with the 4K.
And by the way, 5 Toasts sent his memberships to Castle Grace Skull, Peter Cunnington, Bill Barkley, the Legolas, and Jonathan Garcia. So, hey,
nice.
Guys, if you remember, come to the chat. Come to the member chat next week. It's fun to see people that I've never seen before. So that's fun. So we're caught up there, I believe. Thomas Logan says, Dieter Bastian, BVS has multiple 15 to 70, 143 to 1 sequences.
Did it have multiple? I just thinking it was just a fight between Batman v Superman. Were there multiple? Then my remembering is a little bit faded. I was thinking it was just the fight between Batman v Superman that came in that 4:3 sequence.
Well, there's like 2 different versions of that too. Didn't they release the 2 different versions of BVS and when the Snyder Cut came out? Didn't they do?
Yeah. Then came finally the IMAX version of BVS.
Yeah. So there you go.
But Justice League is that movie where you have the 4:3 aspect ratio the whole way through. So
right.
It's not a problem.
So
Rob, I have one letter to read. From our friend Paul Allen Brunotto. And he says, remembering a documentarian. Hello, Rob and Dieter. I wanted to acknowledge the 20-year career of Oscar-nominated documentarian Morgan Spurlock, who died Thursday, May 23rd. I was quite surprised to learn of his passings at only 53 years old. We already older, Rob, which is young in my book. His docs were unique, positive, and always entertaining. His first, Super Size Me, celebrates his 20th anniversary this month and made him a household name. He followed that with Where in the World is Osama Bin Laden in 2008, then The Greatest Movie Ever Sold, and Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope, both in 2011, then Mansome, about manscaping, and male grooming products with Jason Bateman and Will Arnett, then directing One Direction, in This Is Us in 2013, The Creepy Dog Rats, and was associate producer of John Schnapp's The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened. Then coming full circle with his last feature documentary, Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken, after being delayed was released in 2019. His docs were different, funny, and often had a touch of humanity to them. But he wasn't without controversy in 2017, where he wrote a social media post stating that he had bad history of sexual misconduct and that he was part of the problem, in which in turn sputtered his career, but he wanted to come clean and finally be honest with everyone. His work will live on streaming and on physical media. I addressed the live chat. If anyone hasn't seen any of his docs, they are all worth a watch. My regards, Paul Allen Brunotto.
That's a very nice remembrance. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I was in John Schnepp's doc. Of course, I was wearing shorts when they filmed me. You weren't supposed to see that I was wearing shorts, but whatever. I miss the big guy every day, but Morgan Spurlock did help him out on that. So, yeah, and he died of cancer, unfortunately, and it's a bummer.
Yeah.
So here's to Morgan Spurlock. I mean, it's water, but what are you going to do?
So, who shows stuff from? Who shows
Well,
stuff?
I didn't just get a I did get a little box from Kino Lorber with some pretty interesting stuff.
Nice.
Wes Anderson presents this documentary,
Yeah.
The French. I think this is on the French Open. It's a tennis documentary, just in time for people who've seen Challengers. That came out.
Challengers, yeah.
And then I have to say, these are pretty dope. So they put out, Heath was showing these, the Republic Pictures Horror Collection and Sci-Fi Chillers. So,
Very nice.
I mean, and there's a bunch of audio commentary. The Colossus of New York is one of the Sci-Fi Chillers. The Unknown Terror, Destination Inner Space are the three movies on here. The Unknown Terror is from 57. The Colossus of New York is from 58. And Destination Inner Space is 1966. So these are movies I think I originally saw on Sci-Fi Theater on Channel 11 in Seattle. So it's great to have these. And then The Lady and the Monster from 1944, because these are Republic Pictures. The Phantom Speaks, The Catman of Paris, and Valley of the Zombies. So these are all from the 40s. I love this shit. I eat this stuff for breakfast. I love it. So these are great, two great titles from Kino Lorber. So thank you, Kino Lorber. And then of course, Daisy Miller, Peter Bogdanovich's Daisy Miller with Sybil Shepherd. And this has actual audio commentary from Peter Bogdanovich, who obviously has passed away. And there is a thing with Sybil Shepherd on here. They've put special features and ported them over. But this is another very cool title to get from Kino Lorber. And then the last thing they sent me this week, you know what I say. You know what one of my laws in life are?
Everything gets better with ninjas in it.
Shokazuki, Revenge of the Ninja.
Ninja. Nice.
I think this is actually a re-release from them, but
okay.
I don't care. So I love it. They've sent me lots of.
I don't think it's a re-release, Rob.
No?
There was another ninja movie. No,
There's been a lot. There's Ninja 3. There's lots of Ninja. You know what I have to do? I have to open this up to see if it's got a reversible cover.
Yeah. Do it now.
Let's open this puppy up. Let's see. Maybe not, because this is a pretty cool cover.
Yeah.
No. But you can't go wrong with this cover.
No, definitely.
So
not.
and the O-ring. So there you go.
Yeah.
But thanks for that, Kino Lorber. A pretty good haul. Now, should I keep going?
If you want, yeah.
So I got two more things that I got that were interesting. This I was really looking forward to. Because even though I have two versions...
Wait,
Rob.
Wait. Okay, now you can go.
Arrow's Joe Carnahan's Narc. This movie fucking rules. And, it came in one of the collections. Yeah, and I was so happy to... Arrow, like this and Carlito's Way, both Arrow titles, and they're great. Great. And I love the cover. I love this cover. The new artwork they've done, between the Warriors, all these crime thrillers, these but this movie is really, really good. I love this movie. I haven't watched.
Haven't seen it in a long time, Rob.
It's really good.
I have it on HD DVD, Rob.
Oh,
just saying. Just saying.
Wow.
Just saying. Betting on the wrong horse, you know.
Yeah. This is great. I love these. I love Arrow's titles. Yeah, this is good. Good stuff. Second disc of extras. Great cover. Love it. You go, Arrow. Yeah. And then, okay, and my last title of the week, the last thing I got this, and I'm still, again, waiting for The Crow, waiting for The Departed.
Yeah.
I have another, like, a box coming with Woody Allen's new film, Coup de Chance. The last one I got, now I was a little conflicted about this, to be honest.
Okay.
I got the Ocean's Trilogy in 4K.
Yeah, where's the conflict, Rob?
Well, they had a great... You can get all three on Steelbooks.
Yeah, Rob, I know, but I prefer the regular cover that you have here. I didn't found the Steelbooks that impressive. I haven't seen it in person. You know?
Here's the problem. The first movie in this trilogy is amazing. I love Ocean's 11. Ocean's 12, it's okay. And Ocean's 13 is a little better, but the first one I like a lot more. So I was thinking about getting the first one as a steelbook. Okay. But then I'm like, but then I'd want the other two.
Yeah.
So I just figured.
The only tip that I can give you, Rob, wait perhaps for the steelbook as a Schnäppchen. You know?
If it comes up as a Schnäppchen, I love these movies. By the way, Paul at Twinflix did a great comparison video. So watch his. One day we got to bring him on the show. He did a great comparison video of the.
Now as you show it, Rob, I think I have Ocean's 11 on HD DVD, all three movies. Just saying, just just saying.
Well,
nice upgrade. Then.
Yeah, this is a good upgrade, and as Paul will tell you, it looks incredible. I haven't opened it yet, but So there you go. So that was my big, because the other discs I bought for the week haven't shown up yet. Amazon.
Okay. Then I will show some stuff, Rob. 3 movies that I bought in a package, Rob, because I thought, okay, I will support this, even if I think the movies are decent. But Turbine, Rob, put them out in 3D. So I will not say 3D is back, because those movies gotten their 3D release, I think, in Australia. They got a 3D release in Australia. But Turbine put them out here, and they look nice together. So this should be a new series.
Wow, look at that.
So they put out Jurassic World Dominion in 3D.
Wow.
And every movie comes with a reversible cover artwork. And of course, I always choose with the original title, not the German title. So the other, you have the German title. And since Turbine, Rob, is, a label for collectors, they put the rating just on the cellophane, Rob.
Good for them.
There's no sticker that you have to remove, which would be a hassle. So Jurassic World Dominion in 3D, and they come, Rob, unlike the Australian releases, with Dolby Atmos track for the 3D. Then the Bad Guys I bought in 3D, and the other one is the Minions: The Rise of Gru, and animated is always great in 3D.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I will support this, because there are really new releases here from Turbine, and you get it a little bit cheaper if you purchase all 3, Rob. No, they're clever on that front. No. So number 1 is Jurassic Park. Let me see. 2 is Minions, and the 3rd is The Bad Guys in 3D with Dolby Atmos track. The next one up, I heard good things about it. I haven't seen it, so it's a cat in the bag. I don't know if you have heard about this movie with Sean Penn and Ty Sheridan, Asphalt City. I heard good things about it.
No, I don't know anything about it.
Came out here. It's about medics I think in New York.
Oh
City
yeah,
or somewhere.
right, yeah. It's called
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I think it's called something. It was called something different at first, and they changed the title.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. So this was, I think so. That's a little bit of a downer movie considering what they have to deal with every day. So, Asphalt City, as a Cat in the Bag. The next one, Cat in the Bag. It will come out as a media book later, but I thought, okay, I will just get the normal one and see first what the movie will be about, because I went on Rotten Tomatoes, Rob. I know, it's not the be-all, end-all, but let's face it, people, we all go there. And there is a difference, Rob, between the critic score and the audience score with over 50%. So the critics seem loving it, but not the people, Rob. Perhaps it's too woke, Rob. It's called Perpetrator. No. Some girls on it, got a reversible cover art, so no German rating. Perpetrator, Rob. So probably too woke for some. I have no idea. We'll check it out at some point. Then I got 2 steelbooks from Stallone movies, which I put in the basket with the Dune ones. So I got the Cobra one.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know it's not the best movie, Rob. You know that, but at least the steelbook looks very nice because of the shades here.
Oh yeah.
And with that comes the Tango and Cash, which actually has a little bit of a bullet hole here. So those 2 steelbooks. Then really nice that it came out here in Germany, because I only saw it digitally, but it came out even as a 4K here. Becky 2, the Raz of Becky is it actually called in the States. So it got a 4K release here up with the Blu-ray, but you can buy it just as a Blu-ray as well. And I'm really hoping that we will get another sequel so they can finish out the trilogy, because there are still some questions to answer. Yeah,
Yes,
Rob,
burning questions about the Becky franchise.
Exactly, Rob. Don't laugh at me, Rob. Don't laugh at me. I want my Becky 3. And then Cat in the Bag, Rob. It says, as a quote here, a great revenge thriller in the style of I Spit on Your Grave, Rob. I don't know about that, but it's called Death Hunt. So Cat in the Bag for me. And Rob, you're always asking your audience, where is the eroticism gone, Rob? And I say, okay, you have to venture out of the US.
Uh-oh.
And let me just see, let's get our show demonetized, This is a collection of 3 movies. I have not seen them, Rob. It's called Be My Slave. It says here, uncut collector's edition. What do you think about that, Rob? Be My Slave.
Is that Asian?
Yeah, Rob, exactly.
I'm all about that.
Yeah, and it's actually not crammed on one disc. There are actually 3 discs.
Now, are these actual?
Be My Slave 2.
Are these stroke films or these actual real movies? Come on. Did you get some Asian porn?
Actually, no, Rob. I think they are actually movies. They're actually movies.
As far as actually movies, but what kind of movies?
Yeah, what kind of movies? I will have to find out, Rob. But after,
well, actually, I have to say, I'm looking it up.
Exactly,
Be My Slave from 2002 is quoted as a romance or a drama.
There you go, Rob. There you go.
And romance or a drama, and okay. Well, there's also an American heavy metal band called Bitch that released Be My Slave. So
sounds right up my alley too, Rob.
And by the way, it's got 3.5 out of 5 stars. So scored by 43 users. Yeah. So far be it for me to disparage your choices in film.
And it seems, Rob, to getting at least 2 sequels out of it, Be My Slave.
Yeah.
Be My Slave 2 and 3. And after being your slave, Rob, we venture out and go to the torture club.
Oh, okay. Let me just say, Be My Slave has 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, but that doesn't mean anything. A young man is attracted to his senior coworker but fails to act on it. One night, he gets a text message from her requesting a rendezvous and is introduced to her shocking sexual life. And an audience member says an overlong,
early baby reindeer.
an overlong softcore porn film from Japan. Well, you know what that tells me? Count me in.
Come in. And after that, Rob, we venture out to the Torture Club.
Wow.
And I
Okay, where'd you find? What made you pull the trigger on these?
Because this is uncut, Rob. So I had to look up where I can find it, and I don't know which cover to choose because this is nice too, So the Torture Club, Rob, So not really Sunday matinee stuff, Rob. More like Saturday.
Well,
evening,
it depends what your Saturday night was like.
So Rob, I wouldn't count it into our favorite, coffee and cake genre movies, but okay. Torture Club and Be My Slave, Rob. I will let
Sounds
you
like
know.
a fantastic double feature.
Yeah, exactly. Four movies, Rob. 4 movies. The next one, Rob, I think you have already, at least I think so. One version came out here in Germany as a media book. I haven't seen this movie probably since the VHS days. The Company of Wolves, Rob, as a 4K media book.
Yeah, I have that. That was one of the first
the
Blu-rays I bought. I got an import from the UK from Company of Wolves a long time ago. I love that movie.
Haven't seen it in forever, Rob. So it comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray. Yes. Nice, juicy stuff from the Company of Wolves. And Rob, it pains me to say this, considering I was really looking forward to the movie. It is financed through a Kickstarter campaign. And so I was expecting, like with Hope and Glory, we talked about a few years ago. Why are we impressed considering Hope and Glory? We went into it, a fan film, let's see. And after 2 minutes, we thought, that looks damn impressive, And I was expecting, acting wonky, okay. I did get some laughs out of it, but I don't think they were intentional, Rob. I got, as a 4K media book, The Last Committee, which is, of course, a little bit of a tribute to the 80s action movies like Bloodsport. It was done via Kickstarter campaign. So I think the budget was around 150,000 euros. So not really that expensive. And I had some good laughs with it, Rob, but I don't think the movie intended to be funny. But the media book is nevertheless nice. It comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray. And I'm certainly it has nice bonus features to it. And the music was great because the music was really came with a great 80s vibe. This was a Kickstarter movie. This came out here from K-Blade. I think K-Blade had a little bit to do something with the movie, and it will come out as a steelbook too. So
that's cool.
The last committee. That's a little bit off my haul for this week, Rob.
Pretty good haul.
Last committee. Yeah.
Pretty good haul.
Way more than I was expecting, You pre-order stuff, but we don't actually look at the date. And then that is this week when everything comes out,
I like that, though.
This was my haul.
All right. Well, good haul it is. We got some more super chats that people have fired in. Mus Hussein says, "Hi, Robin Dieter. Thank you for all of your excellent physical media curation. Ever thought of devoting a small section of the show to films that need a high-def release, a Blu-ray, or a 4K? That's not a bad idea.
Not a bad
Although
idea.
talking about that stuff is
we have our first title.
Yeah, Free Enterprise.
Yeah. Second time.
Celebrating its 25th anniversary next week.
With the new card drop, We need to get it to that mediocre level.
You shut your dirty little mouth. But guilty is charged. Okay. All right. Five Dot Toast
Yeah.
says, I would be very curious to know how enthusiastic India is for 4K in general. It could be that India isn't into 4K discs or the DRM baked into them.
I have no idea about the sales in India, actually.
But, you know, the thing about 4K is you have to have a 4K player and a 4K TV. And I don't know if the Indian economy is such that I'm sure there's a lot of movie enthusiasts. They're movie crazy over in India, but that's a really good question. I honestly don't know anything about the Indian market.
Me neither.
It's frustrating because, like, we hear about European markets, France, Italy, and Asian markets, Japan, Hong Kong, China,
Hong Kong, yeah.
And
But
so
this is one of the markets I don't actually know anything about.
no, and it's very difficult. It's almost as if they're an island unto themselves because, and there's Indian films. I mean, we get their art films like the Apu trilogy of Criterion will put something like that out. But I'd like to get movies like Robot. You know, there are Indian movies that I really have a good time with, and I like the Indian ladies. So have they made an erotic thriller? Like, is there some R-rated erotic thriller with steamy sex scenes, or do they all just break out into song? I don't know. I want to know.
Rob. Probably yes.
If there's somebody tell me this. Somebody find out if there's like an R-rated. Can they even do R-rated movies in India? An R-rated erotic thriller that's like 3 hours long. That's also a musical. I want to see that. Does that exist?
There you go.
And somebody find it for me.
Yeah.
And if not, maybe we should go to India and make one. Of course, we might run up against the censors, but I like that idea.
Could be.
Thomas Logan says, Dieter Bastian, show the bootleg IMAX cut of Blade Runner 2049 I nabbed. He said he sent you pics.
Yeah, but I don't have the pics anymore.
All IMAX
from
films
eBay
should have 4K releases where the IMAX aspect ratio is preserved, like BVS. I agree with that. I mean, that's what we want. Unfortunately, people are caring less and less about preserving that stuff, which is really unfortunate. B. Depp says, my 2 cents on Muss's SC Under the Rainbow. I know that's what Hussein, Mus Hussein was asking, what movies do you want on Blu-ray or 4K? And, of course, B. Depp wants Under the Rainbow, so maybe George Felsenstein will make your wish. He'll make your wish come true. Ooh. So there you go. And changing it up a little bit, Major Chai Chai reminds us that tomorrow here in the United States is Memorial Day. Please take a moment to remember those in the military and the families who made the ultimate sacrifice. My father was a World War II veteran. And also working with Mike Schertz, my friend Mike Schertz, on crisis medicine. Mike Schertz is a Special Forces medic, or was, 18 Delta, Green Beret, and we work with a lot of special operators to create the crisis medicine tactical casualty care video series, and it's based on the TCC guidelines. So I still work with operators that are currently, some of them are currently still in the military. So, yes, we should all remember the families, the officers, and the men and women of our military tomorrow, and those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice and are still in the field even today, keeping us safe. That's a good call, Major Chai Chai. Film Schooled says, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I have to vent to people who understand. My new pet peeve, well, it's receiving steelbooks that look like they've been worked over with a ball-peen hammer. By the way, this is Film Schooled's first super chat to this channel. Thank you, Film Schooled. Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, why? The funny thing about it is, again, I know this is problems that we shouldn't. Look, I always think that you can discuss big problems or small problems, whatever you want to discuss. But the idea that steel books, the whole reason to buy them is because they're metal, collectible, fun things to have, and you don't want them scratched up. That's why I buy steelbook protectors. You don't want them dented. And yet, so many are shipped. Again, you know who would never send you I don't think probably someone's going to go, oh, I got one. I bet if the Japanese sent you a steelbook, you wouldn't get one that was dented.
Probably not.
Because people understand what they're doing. But here the work, no one has a work ethic. The least amount, and the problem is, at the end of the day, if you're buying a steelbook and you get it shipped from a company that's not they're not taking the time to fix it, the company's going to be the one losing money because they have to replace it for you. Just do it right the first time.
Yeah. Especially the packaging from Amazon got so lazy over the years, Rob. All the 5 steelbooks I got, Tango and Cash, Cobra, the 3 Dune steelbooks came all just in a bag, Rob. You put them out and think they're okay, And
it's
when I was thinking, let's say 2 or 3 years back, every steelbook came in a protective case. I don't know where this protective case has gone.
Well, we're seeing. I mean, even retailers. We're watching physical media dying on the vine, especially when it's coming from the studios.
Yeah,
it's very sad.
So, like I said, this has to go back.
It's true.
If they're sold out, then it's really really difficult to get them anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have news for us, Rob?
Dude, I got so much news. You want the news?
Okay. Yeah.
So
if we are caught up with the super chats, Rob.
We are caught up with super chats.
Okay.
Yeah, we but you can still fire them in if you want. If you got questions or comments. Okay. Can I just say, what the hell is this? Can we talk about this? So they just released.
I don't know what you will show me.
Oh, you don't. Yeah, you can't see it. Here you go. What is this?
Yeah. What else to say, Rob?
I mean,
finally
Okay, they already released a Rocky box set that was incomplete and they had problems with it. So, let's go back and fix it. Yeah, and fix it and release it again. The Ultimate Knockout Collection. I mean, if you're going to put something out, look, I'll buy this. But if you're going to put something out, do it correctly the first time. That's why I didn't buy the first one.
Exactly.
I didn't buy the first one. So
you made the right choice, Rob. You made the right call.
Vinegar Syndrome, halfway to Black Friday. They announced a couple of great titles. Joseph Zito's Invasion USA. You gonna buy this?
Already pre-ordered. Yesterday.
Vinegar Syndrome coming out firing hot with the Canon Epic Invasion USA. And they do a great job with their 4K. So go Vinegar Syndrome.
Totally.
They're also putting out Lifeline. This must be some Korean disaster movie.
This one too, Rob. It comes from Johnny To, one of my favorite directors, considering Hong Kong cinemas. And I've never seen that movie, Rob. So
is this Hong Kong? Oh, this Hong Kong, not Korean. Okay, yeah.
Yep. So I pre-ordered Lifeline and help me out, Invasion USA. Those are the 2 titles I pre-ordered.
Oh, you did. So you know what? Okay, okay.
You started on the dot, Rob. On the dot.
You mean you didn't get this local movie, The Instructor, starring Bob Chaney?
No, Rob.
Look, there's somebody's throwing ninja stars at him.
On IMDb, and I said, no, I'm probably not gonna get that.
Yeah, I'm not real keen on it. But then here we have Tom Savini starring in Miss The Ripper.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I mean, this could be cool, But I think my favorite of the bunch, and I kudos to whoever created this cover. It's another local horror. I mean, Vinegar Syndrome is into that, but I'm like, talk about tweeting the fat phobic crowd. Criminally insane. 250 pounds of maniacal fury. Hey man, you know what? You call it like you see it. I don't know anything about this movie. But I almost
Cat in the bag.
A cat in the bag. I kind of want to buy it just for this cover, just to display it proudly, just to have accusations of somebody not being sensitive or whatever that they whatever they have to say, you know, and then
You
of
come
course,
at me with Be My Slave and Torture Club stuff.
then we have Red Mob coming
Okay.
out, which is all good. I don't know anything about Red Mob, but hey, it's Vinegar Syndrome. Then they're putting out this, which has the same cover and the same font as a movie called Pets, but this is Sweet Sugar. Sweet Sugar, and I think this might be a rape revenge movie or something. I don't know. I didn't do enough research, but then I love this cover. Farewell, Scarlet. Who slew Scarlet? I don't know. Farewell, Scarlet. I like this cover though, and this looks like trashy fun, based on the fact that I really know nothing about it. So,
Me neither. Never heard of it.
again, Vinegar Syndrome titles, and they're also putting out Lucky Stiff. So there you go. That's their halfway to.
Looks more like partner label stuff.
Yeah, there's partner label stuff too. Hey, it's Vinegar Syndrome and their partner labels. I support Vinegar Syndrome. Why not? And then we've got 101 Films is putting out Glengarry Glen Ross in a really nice. It's not a 4K; it's a Blu-ray edition, but this is a nice looking version. I love
the cover.
101. They do it. Yeah, it's great stuff. Love the movie. So this is a cool release. I don't know if it's a new transfer, but it's a cool release. Then we've got coming from 88 Films, Black Cat 2.
Nice.
Coming out. That's coming out. And then this is a movie. I saw this movie in the theater. Philip Kaufman, who directed The Right Stuff, directed this back in the aughts. Twisted with Ashley Judd, Sam Jackson, and Andy Garcia. I know nothing. I saw this movie. I remember nothing about it. I don't know why.
I'm in the same boat as you, Rob. Probably seen it during
Yeah.
VHS days, but have no memory.
And then we got all these really cool British titles and things coming out from Imprint.
Ooh, Roger Moore.
And I again don't know much about these movies. Some of that's not entirely true. I know some about some of them, but cross plot with Roger Moore, and it's interesting. Suave executive Gary Fenn is leading the good life, but the good life turns bad when someone tries to kill a beautiful model and frame him for the murder. I love how we're dipping back into the pre-Bond 60s era. Bring that on. So that's cool. They got a couple of stuff coming out. Banning is next. The movie Banning. Again, I like that they're dipping into these sort of this British era. Now, I've actually seen this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and the action begins when the auction ends. Robert Wagner and Jill St. John star in this rarely seen 60s drama. And Guy Stockwell from Santa Sangre, James Ferrantino, and Gene Hackman. Athlete Mike McDermott's Playboy lifestyle has seen him kicked off the golf pro circuit when accused of match fixing with the new name of Banning. He hustles from one country club and woman to another, leading a high-stakes tournament and a sudden death playoff for his life. And this has the Academy Award-nominated song, The Eyes of Love by Quincy Jones. There you go. Now, this looks pretty interesting. Again, Jessica. Now, what's wild about this, you've got, of course, the worldwide first, the critically acclaimed actress Angie Dickinson stars in this delightful romantic comedy set in stunning Sicily. Jessica is an American midwife whose physical attractions raise the libido of the men in a small Sicilian town, causing concern for the local women. When the women of the town decide to abstain from sex to forego pregnancy and thus avoid Jessica delivering their babies, the town priest steps in to bring normal marital relations back on track. And it was directed by trailblazing noir filmmaker Jean Negulesco, who made How to Marry a Millionaire, based on the Flora Sandstorm novel The Midwife of Pontclair.
So is that a double feature, Banning Jessica you know.
Ben and no, but it should be. And then we've got this Synanon, and this actually sounds interesting. And again, it's cool that they're putting out these movies that I know nothing about, but I certainly do enjoy them. I enjoy that they're putting this stuff out. This controversial drama chronicles the ongoings at Synanon House, a rehabilitation center for people with all kinds of addictions. Starring award-winning actor Edmund O'Brien, the Barefoot Contessa, Chuck Connors, Stella Stevens, and Alex Cord. There's and an electric performance from beloved musician actress Eartha Kitt. And it was directed by prolific filmmaker Richard Quine, The World of Susie Wong. There you go. Old school addiction dramas. That's exactly what we all want. And now we've got, of course, Woman of Straw. And again, who knows what you're getting. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Let's see. Woman of Straw. The original James Bond, Sean Connery. So we got Sean Connery and Roger Moore represented.
Boy.
And beloved Italian actress Gina Lollobrigida team up in this British melodrama directed by pioneering British filmmaker Basil Dearden, who made The Man Who Haunted Himself with Roger Moore, which is actually good. Anthony Richmond, a money-hungry young man enraged that his rich, dying Uncle Charles doesn't plan to include him in his will, recruits a young nurse, Maria, for a nefarious scheme. From Academy Award-nominated writer behind blockbuster hits Firestarter and Conan the Destroyer, Stanley Mann, and adapted from the 1954 novel Le Femme de something, a French word I can't say, A Woman of Straw was nominated for Best Costume Design at the 1965 BAFTAs. So, there you go. And finally, this is a classic, The Taming of the Shrew with Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. So there you go, Hollywood's favorite couple. And, of course, we all know Taming of the Shrew. So there you go. Directed by Franco Zeffirelli, who also did Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. So there you go. That's coming from Imprint. And now we've got from Paramount UK. They're putting out a 4K of The Italian Job. This is definitely a must-buy, I think. Pretty nice-looking package there. Coming from Paramount UK, not Paramount in America, because apparently we don't know what the Italian Job is.
With an original gold bar, Rob.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. It makes it even that much more valuable.
So Schnäppchen. So already a Schnäppchen.
It's a Schnäppchen, yeah. And then we've got Kino Lorber is putting out Buona Devil in 3D with Robert Stack, but it's coming out in 3D. Buona Devil, I'm sure there's somebody out there that's saying, that movie is culturally insensitive, probably. But, hey, it's in 3D. You go, Kino Lorber. 3D. And then we've got Umbrella's new movies that are coming out. They got a pretty interesting slate. Yeah. Chain Reaction. The Emu War. Irresistible with Susan Sarandon, Sam Neill, and Emily Blunt. A little young Emily Blunt. Irresistible. Don't know this movie, but hey, it's irresistible to me. I already have this in a different format. Good Night, Mommy. They're putting this out. Yeah. Is that German? Isn't this a German movie?
From Austria, Rob.
Austria. Well, close enough.
I see. Ich see.
Mm-hmm. I have the first Blu-ray release of that, but they're putting it out, so you go. Then we've got The Demon Disorder, which is, what my Sunday mornings used to look like after I've been drinking all night for Saturday. The Demon Disorder. So that's what Umbrella's putting up. Pretty good list of titles there. Don't know much about them, but hey, I like what Umbrella's doing. Then, of course, William Shatner's documentary, You Can Call Me Bill, with no mention or clips from Free Enterprise, but buy it anyway. And then we got coming out in 4K from Kino Lorber. We've got In and Out with Kevin Kline in 4K. How they decide to put out these 4K titles, I don't know, but there you go. It's coming out in 4K. And then we have Abel Ferrara's Fear City is coming to us. And who doesn't love a good Abel Ferrara sleaze fest crime thriller? I certainly do. So we got that coming out. And now on to the discs, the overall disc sales, top 20 sellers for the week ending May 11th. We'll see what we've got here as we look. Obviously, there's really not much surprises with these anymore. We can just look and see that it's the standard that we're all used to. Of course, number 1 is The Crow. Number 1 with a bullet overall. Madam Web, I don't know why. Number 2, The Beekeeper. Number 3, Ordinary Angels. Number 4, Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. Number 5, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is number 6. Lawman, Bass Reeves is number 7. Paw Patrol Jungle Pups is number 8. Andor, the complete first season, is number 9. And number 10 is The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And then we go...
Still in the top 10.
Still in top 10. Then we go to Blu-rays. The Crow, Madam Web, Star Wars Obi-Wan, Beekeeper, Andor, Ordinary Angels, Aquaman, The Falcon, and The Winter Soldier, the complete first season. Moon Knight, the complete first season. The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And then finally, 4K. The Crow's number 1. I love to see that The Crow's number 1.
Yeah, me too.
Obi-Wan, Andor, High Noon, Madam Web, The Ocean's Trilogy,
Nice.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Dune Part 1, Moon Knight, and Oppenheimer is still hanging in there. And that, my friend, is all the news that is fit to print. And again...
I'm always surprised, Rob, about the Kino Lorber 3D titles that have had no idea that so many 3D movies were done back in the day.
Buona Devil. Oh, yes. 3D. Those 50s movies. Come on now.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we look at, obviously, 62. Here's the pie chart and UHD. I mean, it's a niche market. 4K is still a niche market. And it's like these big titles like The Crow, they come out and they immediately go into the secondary market. Come and get them while the getting is hot. But yeah, I mean...
So I would think next week should Dune 2 be at the top of the list.
Yes, probably. Dune 2 will probably be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. I just let's see. Next week. I mean, I'm looking at stuff coming out and what in terms of what because I've been re-alphabetizing my entire collection. I moved it over, which I've been trying to broadcast. Hopefully by next week I'll be able to broadcast from my physical media collection will be behind me. But so what we have coming out next week: Kung Fu Panda 4, Arthur the King,
next week. Okay.
Anatomy of a Fall, Crimson Peak, Batman in 4K, the Steelbook, Cemetery Man, the Standard Edition. That sci-fi chiller stuff. That's Sex and Fury. There's a good title. I'll get that. Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker, which I already have. Belladonna of Sadness, which I'll pick up. But it's like all the Great Alligator, Devil's Honey in 4K, which I already have. Kathy's Curse in 4K, which I won't get. But you look at the stuff, it's like it's not like there's enough because there's not a lot of excitement around the big titles. There's not the studios aren't releasing things, so I don't know. It's not. There's great stuff coming out, but
no. But you have to know those movies, Rob. You're purchasing those movies if you already know them mostly.
Yeah,
those stuff that's coming out.
Considering
the back catalog titles.
It's just there's so many back catalog movies that I would like to get in 4K, that aren't available, and it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
I have to buy Kind Hearts the Lavender Hill Mob from the UK, which is another Ealing Alec Guinness comedy, which I really want. I keep forgetting to buy that. So,
okay. So, Rob, since you're done with the news, should I do my part?
Oh, yes. Why don't you do your part? Just like in Starship Troopers. I'm doing my part.
My part. So, yeah. So, previously on Let's Get Physical Media, Roman Chopper watched Mars Express, the animation movie, the other day. Nothing new, yet cute. Cyberpunk Noir. Major Chai Chai. Glad to know you're okay. Yes, the flood has subsided. It's getting a little bit better now. There's still some repairings to do. And Castle Racegal says, Dieter has marked himself safe. Yes, I luckily was safe. And Tim Hens said, considering the Eurovision Song Contest, which I didn't know, Germany did better than the UK in the Euro Trash Contest. Before the UK, unbelievable. And Albinal says, if we finally would send Electric Callboy, we would have a chance to win again. Yeah, Albinal, I think. Could be right on that one. Lemon, always nice to see new people. Good afternoon, guys. I'm new here. I found this because I usually watch John Campia podcast. Nice to meet you all. Have a nice evening. And Thomas Bartoldi says, send Rob more grandpa stuff and get more renting elderly grandpa time. Something's wrong with grandpa in elderly. Tim N says, Megalopolis is my most eagerly awaited movie of the year. Walter White Walker, I liked If, new movie from John Krasinski. Script needed to be fleshed out a bit, but its heart was in the right place. And the man says, I really don't know what audience If is supposed to be targeted for. Clarence Markwell says, how movie theaters are still in business is baffling, considering the box office. Yeah, it will be a tough year if it goes on this way. Timens, I enjoyed the new Planet of the Apes movies, but still don't think it deserves to be a franchise. And Albion says, been a fan of Planet of the Apes since a child and enjoyed the modern trilogy, but have no desire to see this new one. Okay. Believe in yourself. The bricklayer. It all stacks up. Exactly. Rennie Harlan's stacking up his movies. Stranger movies. Secular Monk. Did everyone get their copy of Dune Part 2? I was able to get the 4K Steelbook. We presented it this day. Unfortunately, dented. Lemon. I love the new Apes movie. The story takes place generations later, and seeing the apes worshipping Caesar and having an additional story was fun. Now, further sequels needed, in my opinion. And I'm pretty sure we will get them, considering the movie is doing pretty nicely. Adventure Square, Second Sight, considering Rob showed us that he decided, no, I will go alphabetically, doesn't matter which company puts it out, but Adventure Square says, Second Sight discs deserves their own shelf space. Suleiman 3421. The uncut version of Soldier Blue is 135 minutes, so even the German version is censored. I talked about last week that I cancelled the UK one of Soldier Blue because of some horror stunts. They are probably still censored. And I reached out to PlayOn and asked if the German version that they put out with the same steelbook is uncut, and they said yes, it is uncut. It is not the same discs as they will release in the UK. Often the discs are internationally the same. Secular Monk, I heard that there was some sort of live segment in Megalopolis. I wonder how they will do that in the cinema. There were some people who thought about ideas. Major Chai, put a scan code on the screen and use your phone to call up the dialogue. Scott Harwood could pull back to show actor in theater acting towards screen, then zoom back into film. Will be crazy to see how will they do that. Thomas Bertoldi, wishing Rob happy birthday till next May. Will be a good time. Okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Christopher Carrillo, bought my first comic since I was a kid. Got the Age of Apocalypse prelude. My first comic was DC Identity Crisis. That comic was hard to read. Oh, okay. Tim Enns, The Crow should be notorious for the Brandon Lee tragedy. Isn't it, Tim? I thought it was. And he said, I won't be watching any pointless remake. And HD Movie Source says the same. There's no way I'm going to see the new Crow. Okay. Demenz, considering the German, different titles, Play Me the Song of Death instead of Once Upon a Time in America. Got to love the Germans and their alternate bizarre titles. Diane Seaborn, The Promised Land was good. Diane, I would even say, was very good. Promised Land. Huge Jazz. I'm really trying to explore Ultra HD physical media, but it's taking a toll on my wallet. Yeah, that comes with the territory, unfortunately. And Tim Hens asked, what does Dietz do when he watches an English language movie and one character talks in German with subtitles on the bottom of the screen? Does he read the English subtitles? Unfortunately, yes, Tim, because your eyes just get drawn to it, Oh, there are subtitles. And sometimes they're actually helpful. It depends on the movie. I always remember the movie from Guy Ritchie with Henry Cavill, which comes out in 4K. Uncle Marsing. Because at the beginning, there's some Henry Cavill stuff where he speaks German, and I think, what is he talking about? And I was lucky that I got the subtitles to read it, Tim. So sometimes it can be helpful, even if it is German dialogue. Brian Knight, Robert, last year Disney announced the new live-action Snow White and then pushed it to this year. John Campbell didn't mention the movie during his CinemaCon reviews. Any information or update? Brian, are you really interested in the new live-action version of Snow White? Okay.
I have no clue if they're. I really don't. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Tim Mann says, Wicked Little Letters was a little predictable. You cast Olivia Colman and you already know the twist. You're right on that front, Tim, but for me, the movie didn't suffer from it. Brian Knight, Robert and Dieter, do you believe there is a secret cabal buying up movies you want, and then when they are sold out, you are forced to buy from them? Oh, Brian, I already know that too well. There are some dealers, especially with German media books, they buy the whole lot, and then you can pay the extra dough if you want.
I mean, it's unfortunately, it's true.
Yeah.
But how much money are they really making? It's
Exactly.
like, don't you guys have better things to do? Why don't you invest in stocks or real estate?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Paul and Brunotto, I own The Last Emperor 4K German media book. Nice. Because I think Rob said Criterion will put out a new one in the States. Major Chai, maybe someone's buying them up just to destroy them. Could be a case too. Tim Ensk, speaking of Madam Web gave me nightmares for all the wrong reasons, and I was awake. And he says to me, don't bother with Madam Web. Uncle Jimmy says, watched Hope and Glory was incredible. Could not believe it was a fan film. I really enjoyed it. Well, Uncle Jimmy, that was the same reaction that Rob and myself had to that fan film. We couldn't believe it either. How well executed as a fan film that was. A Serious Man. Haven't watched Madam Web yet, but when I finally got around to seeing Morbius, I actually liked it. So perhaps there's a chance. Benjamin Yoon. Let's not forget that the director of Madam Web, S.J. Clarkson, was one of the many announced directors for the fourth Kelvin Universe Star Trek movie.
Yes.
Didn't know about that. And my friend, the pizza man from Miami, Thomas Logan, telling someone not to watch Madam Web is like telling someone not to watch The Room. Why deprive anyone of such delicious studio garbage? A Serious Man. There's some really good non-alcoholic beer out now. If you're looking for the taste of hops without the buzz, there are also great options out there. You and I, sir, park our shuttlecraft in the same shuttle bay. Stubble McShave. Time for the part of the show where Rob goes through his work emails. Of course, Stubble, he does. This at this moment, right now.
I'm paying attention. Come on,
yeah. Castle Rayskull, thanks for the shoutouts. Always welcome. And Diane Seaborn asks, is the Blu-ray region free? Diane, if you put something like that in the live chat, you have to put which title you're asking about. Because I skipped 4 and back, I don't know which title you were referring to. Which were you asking is region free. If you put something like that in the live chat, please put the title with it so that I can probably help you out there if a Blu-ray is region free. Speaking of the audio drama, Major Chai says, shut up and take my money, Rob. Okay, that's good to know. And speaking of the Star Trek trivia last week, Tim Hens, Rob is having an off day with his Star Trek knowledge. Could happen to the best of it. So, Rob, this was the live chat from last week.
All right. Well, that's good. Let's see. I think we're caught up on. I don't know if anyone's fired in. There are a few. There are a few. There are a few super chats. PGS Hero, Manowar 665, neighbor of the Beast.
Awesome.
Celebrates 33 months of memberships, well wishes, and a speedy recovery to our brother George Maholo. George is he threw out his back, and it was pretty bad. He was in enormous pain. I talked to him earlier this week. So George the Giant Slayer he's been felled, but not he's down, but he's not out. He'll be back next week, so I won't be on his show today, which is good because I couldn't be on it anyway because I'm going to drive westward to LA.
Yeah.
To go to do our recording session.
So Rob, do you still have time to do your homework?
Sure, buddy. Okay, why don't humiliate me again? No, that last one was not. The Deadly Years,
Does this help you out, Rob? I don't know about if I can see it.
What am I looking at here?
I have no idea. Someone is tied to a pole.
It looks like Charlie X. But yeah.
Where's my lights? I need lights, Rob. I need lights. The questions are so small here. So, let me just see, Rob. First question. What science vessel brought Charlie Evans to the Starship Enterprise? What science vessel brought Charlie Evans to the Starship Enterprise?
The Antares.
Correct, Rob. Wait.
And it meets
One word.
a terrible fate.
Ooh. Okay. Let me just go on. What was the name of the species that gave Charlie Evans extraordinary mental powers?
The Thasians.
What was? Okay. Don't even have to repeat that. Rob is back on track here. Where did Charlie's closet relatives live? Where did Charlie's closest relatives live? Where did Charlie closest relatives? You want multiple choice?
I'm going to have to go on multiple choice. On
multiple choice. Okay. A. Minaran star system.
No.
Pollux 4 or Alpha 5 colony.
Alpha 5.
Correct, Rob. That is correct. 5 right here. How old was Charlie when the Thasians discovered him? How old was Charlie when the Thasians discovered him?
$17.
Do you want to go multiple choice?
Okay, multiple choice.
1 year old, 3 years old, 10 years old. 1, 3, or 10.
I honestly don't know this. 1.
No, it was actually 3, Rob. So
well,
finally, I got to do that. Waited a long time. God damn it. So the last one, Rob. What was the name of the actor who played Charles Evans? What was the name of the actor who played Charles Evans?
Wait a minute. What the last question?
Yeah.
The actor's name's Robert Walker, I think. Robert
Correct.
Walker, right?
Correct.
The last question.
Yeah. How old was Charlie?
Hang on a second. Hold on a second. Hang on. I have a question.
Those are from experts, Rob. From experts.
No. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me see here.
How old was Charlie when the Thasians discovered him? And the right answer says here 3 years old.
Okay, see, because it's interesting. That's okay, because I seem to remember that he was alone.
Okay,
and he learned to talk to the ship through the ship's computer until he was 17. I don't know. It's splitting hairs. I'm just wondering if that's correct.
Okay.
Anyway.
But not too bad, Rob. After last week, you're back on track. You are back on track.
Yeah. But Robert Walker,
Next one.
you know,
Yeah.
one of the first big guest stars in a Star Trek episode, you know.
Oh,
he's a
nice.
big that was Charlie X was
stuff.
the I think that was the second episode of Star Trek aired after the Man Trap.
Oh, okay.
But the Man Trap was not the first episode filmed. The Corbomite maneuver was after the pilot. Anyway. Yes. There we go. Now
Nice.
I'm in a Star Trek headspace where you've got me out. You've
Yeah.
got me. You've got me. So anyway, I believe that's the end of the road for all of us.
Yeah. Have we done all super chats?
Yes.
No one's left. Nice.
No, I believe we are caught up. I just want to make double sure, double secret probation. Yeah, I think we are in fact caught
And
up.
even if we were not too high on Furiosa, of course, see the movie. It's still a good one. Not a very good one.
Yes. Let me just make one more check. So
Where have you watched it, Rob? Did you watch it in IMAX?
I'm sorry, what?
No,
Furiosa?
Yeah.
No, I watched
Where
it
did you
here.
see it?
I didn't. I saw it here at the Harkins Theater. I didn't see it in
Okay.
their digital theaters.
Nice.
It's good. I like that theater.
Okay.
But they don't have
Nice.
an IMAX theater there.
Nice.
The Mountain Grove 16.
Cool.
So yeah, it's my local. It's good. I like it.
Okay. Do you have a pass for it? Is there a pass available for that?
There is, but
theater?
I don't. I have an app. I get discounted
Okay.
app stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, but they got a good bar, and it's good.
Yeah.
I like it, and it's only like I can get there in like literally like 7 minutes.
That's great, Rob. That's always a plus.
It's always good. So I guess we are done, son.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna have much next week to show, to be honest, because there's not much coming out.
We will see that what comes down the pike. So from my end, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. I want to thank our moderating staff. I want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson for being a great moderator. That I think we kept him up. Lord Toth, if Lord Toth is here,
Yeah.
I'm just going to, even if he's not, I'm going to thank him anyway. I want to thank all of you for generously supporting this channel via Super Chats and tips. And I will be posting a link if anyone wants to give Kaz Graphics a helping hand. He could use it. And all of that good stuff. We're going to be back. I'll be back. I don't know if I'm going to do observations tonight because I don't know how long it's going to take me to get back. It's a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
People are going to be out partying tonight.
Yeah.
But
And of course, fingers crossed on your recording session.
yeah, it's going to be really great. I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous. It's exciting.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
But
So
good nervous.
it is.
Good
It's a very good nervous. I mean, I can't believe that, this whole audio drama is a product of the fact that Max Allen Collins watched us on this show. So True Noir was born out of that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's great to know.
I know, right?
Great starting point.
A great starting point. All right. I'll see you later.
See you guys next week.